There will be pictures that are painted that are not your portrait. There will be plots that many will be willingly to partake in and to implement. But I'm going to remind you, there's a God. And justice will come. Everything that appears to be working for those that are in opposition when you are in alignment, when you are in your calling, in fact, benefits you. You may not see it now. You may not even understand what I'm saying. But I would never make that statement unless I've lived through it. Every plot that was made to interfere with my purpose has basically become a stepping stone, so to speak. In order for me to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Those of you that feel alone, that feel discouraged, that feel like, oh my God, like what's going on? I don't understand. I want you to know you're not alone. Please understand that. Please understand those times that you are being called to connect with God, when you're being called to connect with your angels, when you're being called to connect with your higher self. I'm sure you've heard there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for everything. Ask for wisdom. Ask God for the appropriate time. Ask God for the appropriate place. Honor your ancestors. You honor them by recalling the good memories. You honor them by remembering the ways they taught you to be upstanding individuals. You honor them by making them proud of your decision making today. And what you'll learn about me, those of you that are being called to connect with me further, what you'll learn about me is that I do not spoon feed. What I do is I spread the seeds. And I tell you the options that you can utilize for guidance. And you do your part in researching, reading, meditating, praying to develop yourselves. Because my best teachers did not spoon feed me. They utilized terminology I had no clue of. Can I be transparent? When I first began on this journey, there were many philosophies being said and terminologies being used and skills being introduced that I promise you I never crossed paths with before. But I knew I belonged. And in knowing I belonged, I continued listening, watching, reading, and in the process of doing so, and in my thirst for knowledge, I'm sure you've heard when the teacher is made available, the students come. I'm sure I'm not saying it word for word, but I'm sure you're understanding the gist of what I'm saying. And so in my watching and listening and following, I came across a certain individual whose name I don't even remember. But she shared a video stating that the best bit of information I can give you on this spiritual journey is that your goal is not to learn everything and retain everything in one day. I'm telling you that changed my life. That's all she said. It's not about me learning everything and retaining everything in one day. It's just about showing up. When I do show up and I listen to a podcast, or I go to a retreat, or I read a book, or whatever it is, I feel that I am willing to participate in. The information I need becomes made available to me. And so if I just needed that statement to help me to stop being overwhelmed because I did not have access to this type of information before, I was not raised with this type of understanding, I was able to take a deep breath and understand that God is with me right where I am. And I recall sharing with an individual that connected with me for my services, I remember telling this person that only do what you're comfortable with. Do not do anything that you're not comfortable with, because it is not the appropriate time. When it is the appropriate time, you will know. Especially when you have made your request to God. When you say, or you ask rather, for God to tell you, is it okay for me to read this book? If you have doubts about a book that you want to read, because it's not in alignment with your belief system, pray about it. This is not about copycat. This is not about doing it because she did it or because he did it. This is inner work. I want you to process that. One of the most attractive things about spirituality is that those that know, I'm going to say it again. And I know that those that don't know will have an issue with what I'm saying. But as I said before, I am a messenger. And I don't seek approval of others. I share the messages that I receive. So, those that know there is freedom. Did I stress that enough for y'all? There is freedom in your spiritual path. If something doesn't make sense, listen to what I just said. If something doesn't make sense, if it is not in alignment with your life, that's not for you. If you know you are in a path towards ascension, your goal is to raise your vibration. I'm going to say it again. Yeah, because some of y'all need that reality check. Your goal is to raise your vibration. Now, as I've shared before, when you hear these messages, you are then to use your discretion. Take what you want and leave the rest. But again, those that know. And so in raising your vibration, you participate and you live your lives in a manner that attracts a higher vibration. You declutter your lives of people